Cheat codes for language learning. All right, before I get into this one, I want to preface this by saying these are sort of minor techniques that we could use to add interest and motivation into our core practices or our more traditional practices. Don't take this too seriously. Let's just have a little bit of fun with our language learning process today. I want to share with you some tips and some tricks that you might feel are intriguing. So I've got 5 ideas written down here today, and the first one is to listen to your target language while you're going to sleep. Yes, we're talking subliminal messaging here. This is a good way to open your ear to the language and get more comprehensible input. You could make this a relaxing, you could play some relaxing background music where there's a gentle singer singing in your target language, maybe a relaxing podcast if you like that sort of thing. And if you'll search on YouTube, I believe you will find more and more videos that people have made where the title will be something like Mandarin for going to sleep, or French for going to sleep. And these videos are made to be hours long with the express purpose of helping you to relax and go to sleep, but still listen to your target language, obviously. Second, you can set your devices like your laptop or your phone or your tablet to operate in that target language. So in other words, when you're navigating around, when you're trying to find certain areas or functions or windows or change settings, all of that language is going to appear in your target language. Now, why is that helpful? Well, actually, I can share with you an example from my own life, which is I have set my devices to Mandarin. Sometimes it wasn't my choice. I couldn't figure out how to make it not so. But what I discovered is that because the interfaces of our devices are pretty user-friendly, they're pretty intuitive, and we already know very well where a lot of things are, just switching the language isn't really going to hurt our ability to navigate our devices. So navigating the devices in our target language is going to help us start to recognize certain words, or certain characters, or the script, whatever, for that function. And you might not necessarily know how to say it or exactly what it means, but you're going to start to identify that certain word or shape or character, like I said. So this just gets you more exposure in an indirect way. It starts to acquaint. Maybe we can say, like with in the last example, going to sleep acquaints your ear and opens up your ear. This one's going to start to open up your eyes. You're going to start to recognize that thing before you even truly know what it is. Number 3, watch movies or TV shows that you already know well in your native language, in your target language. Why does this work? Well, a lot of us, just imagine that favorite TV show or movie that you've watched so many times, you can probably recite it by heart, right? Well, now watching it in your target language, there's going to be certain words and phrases that leap out at you, and you know exactly what they mean in your native language. Now you're hearing it in your target language, and chances are you're going to be able to memorize that word or that phrase right away because you're so excited that you know exactly what they're saying. And you might not know, like if you took that sentence and broke it down into the individual words, which again are in your target language, you might not know exactly what each word means, but you know what they mean altogether. You get the idea. Well, you can start to apply that phrase into your daily life, and later you can analyze each part of that phrase to understand it better. You can try to figure out why they translated a certain thing in the way that they did. So this is an interesting way, again, to access your new target language, or I don't know how long you've been studying it, but to access your target language. Number 4, games. I find that it's great to use games to learn a language because no matter how busy you are, no matter how tired or how stressed you are, you probably can have some energy left to play a game and to relax with your friends and family, or maybe your language exchange partner. So I think that games are really great for that. There's a saying that a change is as good as a rest. And what that means is if you just change your style of learning or change your style of activity, you're going to find actually you still have more energy when you thought you were totally spent. So instead of watching mindless entertainment in the evenings, why not use something like a game, which is relaxing, it's low stakes, it's fun, you get to connect with other people a lot, which cultivates your relationships, and yet you're still learning that target language. If you're interested to find some good games to use for this purpose, I design games. You can visit languagecardgames.com. Some products are paid for, obviously, but we're also running free online gaming groups, which you could be a part of. Number 5, and I say this one with a bit of hesitation. I've heard a lot of controversy over this topic over the years, but I think it's really fun. You can get a boyfriend or girlfriend who speaks this language, or is at least learning that language too. Now, why is this helpful? Well, when you really care about the other person and you want to get closer to them, it's natural to want to invest more time and effort into the target language because you know they're going to love you more for it, and you know it's going to be building your relationship. You're going to be able to actually communicate with them in their mother tongue. And I can give you 2 examples from my life. Well, my own example and one of my good friend's examples. So my good friend met a girl in China who later became his wife, and at the time they met, she hardly spoke any English at all. So that encouraged him to improve his Mandarin more rapidly, which he did. Later they moved to the States and her English improved there, but in the beginning that was his motivation, to be able to communicate with her more and better. And in my case, I also met a Chinese girl, and when I met her, her English was very good already, probably around a B2 level on her way to C1 or thereabouts, and my Mandarin was just, I was quite a beginner. And in this case, it still worked because she was actually able, I was willing to learn, and she was able to teach me very well because her English was so good. She could explain things better and teach me interesting things. So I think you can come at it either way. But the point is to have a partner. And I'm not saying it has to be a romantic interest necessarily. Maybe it's not a boyfriend-girlfriend. Maybe it's not a husband-wife. Maybe it's just a language exchange partner who's very committed and you really like them. The point is, if you care about this person and you're able to spend dedicated time with them often, and they're learning that target language or they know that target language, that's going to be very motivating. Okay, so these are the 5 things. Listen to the target language while going to sleep, or else make it the background music or audio of your life, maybe while you're washing the dishes or something. Number 2, set your devices to that language. Number 3, watch movies or TV shows you already know very well in your native language in your target language. 4, use games. 5, get a boyfriend or girlfriend. And I hope these ideas help. If you have your own cheat code for language learning, let us know down in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next time.